It's about 8:30 a.m. right now. I am dressed, my bags are packed. Today I actually fly out to Dallas for One Piece Day. This is the first time that One Piece Day is actually being brought to the United States. It was a event in Japan for a while, but this is the first time that we are getting to experience it here. They announced it at Nationals, and in that vlog I was like, do I go to Dallas? And well, we're going to Dallas. My flight leaves Cincinnati at 11:35, so I got about 3 hours. So I'm gonna head to the airport and let's go check in, get some cool product, hopefully make some trades happen. I absolutely loaded my trade binder for this event, by the way. So hopefully we can make some trades happen. I'm really hoping I can get a playset of the Treasure Rare 10 drop Big Mom, but you know, we have to get there before we start doing any of that. So let's get to the airport. All right, baggage checked in. This one's gonna feel a little bit odd. Typically, I travel in a group, as you see in a lot of these vlogs. So it's like me and Joe, or me and Simon. Nick pops in from time to time, me and Zach. But, you know, now it's like, it's just me. This is a solo mission for me. So it's gonna be interesting to see. We'll see how this weekend goes, honestly. I have officially made it to Dallas. We just touched down. I am now at baggage claim. And when I was on Twitter, because our plane had a taxi for a minute, so when I was on Twitter, I saw that they were actually doing like the signups that they were doing at the event in the airport as well around baggage claim. So I'm gonna grab my bag and then I'm going to, I guess, walk the concourse to see if I can find that. That way I can just go ahead and get my registration out for tomorrow and just be done with it. Okay, so I decided to stop by the venue before I actually go to my hotel. It looks like I'm in the right spot. See people with One Piece bags. Honestly, like Dallas Fair Park's just massive, so it's hard to tell kind of where you're going, especially because there's stuff coned off and things like that. So I don't know, I'm just gonna keep walking in the direction where I'm seeing bags come from and go from there. Okay, successfully checked in for the event. I did have a deck list issue, but I've gone ahead and fixed that as well. The venue itself is not open, so I just checked in, grabbed my swag bag, and then I'm gonna head to the hotel. So let's get there, and then I'll show you what I get for playing in this event. I'm very excited. It feels real now that I'm here. So I'm pumped to actually get in and play tomorrow and just see everything, dude, because this venue, like, it's both buildings, and both buildings are pretty large, so it's gonna be a pretty big event. All right, I'm officially in my hotel room and I have great lighting, which is awesome. I'm actually getting everybody else in because we're going to open up the goodie bag from One Piece Day. First off, the bag gas. One Piece Day Dallas has the egghead mural on the back. Just overall solid. So in here we have, looks like a flyer for Bounty Rush and Treasure Cruise. We have good old, this for One Piece base. Just pretty much saying like, hey, you should read the manga. We have, oh man, a chopper hat? A chopper hat? We might be wearing that all weekend, honestly. What else do I have in here? What are you? That's for One Piece base. I have a flyer for the One Piece gym in Tokyo. That's crazy. Why can't we get a One Piece gym? I would sign up for a One Piece gym. Truth be told. We got one of these. Yeah, this is the product catalog. We got one of these at Nationals. Nothing crazy. We have our competitor badge for day one. And then the lanyard says One Piece Day as well. And finally, the good stuff. We have our promo pack. This promo comes with all of the Luffy gears. This has the Don in it, and we get an exclusive Zoro for this event as well. Dude, look at this Luffy promo. That thing is sick. The Zoro promo, I'm definitely keeping this one. Zoro's my guy. And then the Utadon. It's Hala. Dude, Zach's foaming at the mouth for this right now. Regional entry. So this is, I think, 6 packs of OP09, 2 regional packs, and then event pack 6. And then I got an additional event pack 6. Yep. And then I got an additional event pack 6 for going and registering early. So we're gonna get into the 09 packs first. This is what we're gonna do. Can I pull a manga during One Piece Day weekend? Okay. Not a great start. Oh, dude, it's another leader pack. I just saw the red. Yeah, 2 back-to-back Shanks leaders. Come on now. So far, so bulk. Okay, SR Sanji. So it's like $1 or $2. Oh my god. Koala SR. If this is another leader pack, I'm going to lose it. Doc Q. Yeah, nothing out of my packs. 2 SRs. Not great. 2 regional packs, 2 event pack 6. I think we're gonna start with event pack 6 before we get into the regional packs. All right, event pack 6, number 1. Give your boy a limb. We want limb. Okay, 6 drop Shanks. Six drop Shanks is okay. We'll take that. We'll take that. Second event pack. Looks like I'm buying limbs this weekend because it is an additional 6 drop Shanks. Piece de Resistance, my regional packs for the weekend. These are all new regional promos. We have the good old, the brand new, not the brand new, the Spandine. That's what I was looking for. Regional Spandine out of the first regional pack. All right, killing it. All right, regional pack 2. I mean, quite literally, I don't care what I get. I need some of the limb cards. And we have, oh, dude, Cole's gonna flip. This card looks awesome. This card looks great.
It's a promo where he's like,
Cole's gonna flip. Okay, now that I've opened all the goods, I am starving. I'm going to go get food and then probably just hang out for the rest of the night, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. It is 4:30 right now, 4:47. I might eat and see if I can find like a card store nearby to go check out. I think that would be cool. But yeah, it's been a long day already, and I just want to chill out for a minute. Okay, I am now officially back in the hotel room. I hung out at the Exchange for a little bit. I just thought that place was really cool. I also stopped by 7-Eleven, grabbed some like drinks and stuff for the room, but I do have a 24/7 gym in my hotel. So I'm gonna go ahead and utilize that. I'm gonna run down, get a workout in, come back, shower, and then probably hit the hay, honestly. Like, it's been a long day. That way I can get a good amount of sleep in tonight and just be ready to play tomorrow. After a few 2-2 performances at locals, I have gone back to Shanks for this event. I was never playing Lamb, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I am back on Shanks. It's just the deck that I'm most comfortable with, and I've played into a lot of the top decks a lot with it, so I kind of know what I'm doing. So let's just hope for the best, you know? I mean, realistically, for like a hotel, it's a pretty nice little fitness center. I mean, it's a lot of cardio stuff. They have free weights over here. They do have a weight machine, so like, I do have everything I need to work out. I don't really do a whole lot of cardio. I'll probably hit the bike for a few minutes and then, you know, get to lifting. I forgot my headphones upstairs, and that kind of sucks. But I'm not going back up. We'll make do. I should go up a little bit here. Bike is a little rickety, but it's fine. We make do with what we got. The gym does smell a little weird, but I think it just smells like cleaner. And like, I can't be mad at a clean gym, you know? All right, a little 45-minute workout, nothing crazy. Someone did come in and start using the treadmill, so I stopped recording because I'm not gonna record somebody as they're trying to work out. If it's not me, it feels a little weird. But I'm gonna go grab a protein shake over from the concession area in the hotel, go up, shower. Now I'm hitting the hay. It's currently 7 a.m. I didn't really sleep very well, which is completely fine. Sometimes this happens when I am staying away from home. So I ended up waking up at like 6:30, got a shower, did my morning, you know, grooming things. I get on Twitter, start scrolling. There's already people at the venue. Guess we're gonna go ahead and hit the venue and see if we can find some people to trade with, maybe some early morning trades, something along those lines. But My bag is almost done being packed. I need to put a few more things in there and we can get going. Okay, I've officially made it in. Security is not telling people that there's separate lines to get in. So like the big line that I was in, as soon as we got a little closer to the front, I was like, wait a minute, there's 3 security lines, not just 1. So then, you know, I was able to get up front and actually get in here. So a few hours before the regional actually starts, the actual like One Piece Day venue isn't open yet. I've made a few trades already. You know, it's early morning, it's One Piece. The retail line for tournament players is crazy right now. Apparently they're already out of time slots too. It is what it is. I'll end up getting my illustration boxes by the end of the weekend. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, now it's just hanging out, waiting for the actual event to start. The line is starting to build to get into the venue over there too. That's the non-tournament area, pretty much like the convention side of One Piece Day. I don't know how much time I'll be spending over there. You know, if I can do well in the tournament, hopefully not a whole lot, but you know, I've been known to do the X3 drop thing, so we'll see. You know, it wouldn't be a Bandai event without stuff just hitting the fan super early. So they ran out of retail spots over in the competitor hall, and they sent competitors over here to get retail spots, and now they're telling competitors that they can't get into this hall until 11 a.m. So our event fires at 10:30, supposedly, and we can't even get into this hall that opens at 8:30 until 11. So like competitors are just kind of stuck in a limbo until pods fire, I guess. This is the second event that I've been to that's just super disorganized, and Bandai needs to get control of this stuff. This is insane. But you know, it's sprinkling a little bit, so I'm trying to stay out of the rain. I did trade a little bit already, so the trade binder's out. I guess we'll just do that until my pod fires, or until the pod fires late and I can get into this building behind me for the actual like convention part of One Piece Day. Okay, well, while I am waiting for either my pod to come up or be allowed into this building, I don't really know what's going on. Anyway, here's the fit for the day. You know, I've never been able to make it on a Pokemon stream. Maybe today we just get on the One Piece stream, because it looks like they are streaming a match from each pod, if I'm not mistaken. 0-1 to start. I will be so incredibly happy once Gum Gum Giant gets banned. That's the only reason he was able to get up to the 12K to counter out of the Shank swing. Just feels bad. It's all right though. Only 0-1. So we'll see how the rest of the rounds go, and then, you know, there's a whole convention across the way. So worst comes to worst, I just go over there and hang out the rest of the day. Another round where we lose to Gum Gum Giant. I cannot make this up. This happened at the LCQ2, where I was 0-2. I played a pretty good amount back, and then they only announced the top 16 was getting in. This one's a little bit different of a scenario, but I played Purple Luffy round 1 and then Red Purple Luffy round 2. It's just not going my way today. These Gum Gum Giants are helping people out way too much. Side note, when you're coming to these events, you gotta stay hydrated. And typically, like, I bring stuff like this with me in order to make sure that I'm not like feeling gross midway through the day. So just a PSA, just a little reminder for everybody. Okay, so the first round we don't see purple, we end up getting there. Round 3 I played against Rob Bellucci. But on 10 Dan, I played Rayleigh for 8, making a jack of 5, and I had a Red Hawk in hand, which my leader ability with a jack at 5K makes it live. The following turn, he swung with the bigger of the 2 jacks. I was able to leader ability on the jack, tap 2, Red Hawk, get rid of the jack, and then next turn I was able to completely just clear jack from the board with the Rayleigh swing. Little intricate plays like that. It's crazy what can happen when I play a deck that doesn't play Gum Gum Giant. We are officially out of the regional. 1-3. Just lost to Rob Lucci after winning against it in the last round. Doesn't feel like great. Ooh, chilly down here. Doesn't feel great, but you know, it is what it is. Didn't see any top in that game. I saw a dragon that was immediately removed from the board the next turn. I saw Shanks that also got immediately removed. So it's like, One, if I can't draw any other big bodies, because I was only drawing one at a time and none of them stick, it's just going to be hard to win. However, now I can go over to this hall where like the actual convention side of it is, and I have a 2 p.m. reservation for Bandai Retail. So I'm gonna go do that, and then probably gonna go get some food as well. No, looks like all of the card ones are gone. You know, I mentioned that I was pretty nervous coming to this event by myself because it's been a while since I've traveled by myself for trading card games, but the amount of people that I have met has been absurd, honestly. Like the amount of people that have come up and talked to me about anything, card games, life, content, I really appreciate it because it makes me feel like I'm not here by myself, if that makes sense. So if you came up and talked to me on Saturday, just know I am incredibly appreciative of you because having a blast. We went to retail, we grabbed one of the event exclusive illustration boxes. It comes with a Rob Lucci and a Bonnie promo. It looks pretty cool. Also 2 packs of 08 and a pack of 09. Terrible. I hate that. Also visited the Gachapon station and they were out of a lot of stuff. I did grab one, so we'll crack this later as well. But back this way is actually the card gallery. So they're showing stuff from some of the new starter decks. They have like big blown up pictures of the cards coming out in OP10. So let's go take a look. I have a mighty need for this card. Thankfully, pre-release is like next week. The SBs this set are actually really cool too. Flampe, awesome. I think Bonnie drops you Rouge though. So like, neither here nor there, but the Newgate, crazy. So I was gonna wait for my next retail reservation, which was supposed to be like 15-ish minutes ago, 20 minutes ago at this point. But, well, they're out of illustration boxes. So I'm heading out for the day. There's not a whole lot to do in the hall beside the stuff that you've seen. Like the actual like convention side of it, there's just not a whole lot. So I'm gonna go to a local card shop, see if I can find anything there, and then head back to the hotel, get some food, and kind of hang out for the night. This store, really cool. A ton of different board games, dice galore. They have a Gachapon station, a huge play area that I'm not going to show because I don't want to, you know, get anybody in who doesn't want to be in video. But overall, dude, crazy store. 10 out of 10 suggestion. I'm going to buy some stuff. They don't have One Piece cards, unfortunate. Well, they have like singles, and then I think they have 08, which I don't really want to open. But overall, solid store. I gotta get out of here like now.
All right, it is the next morning. I'm actually getting ready now to go back to the venue for One Piece Day 2. I left yesterday around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was really hungry and I wanted to go check out Common Ground. Common Ground, really cool, awesome store like I said before. But I went, grabbed some food, came back and pretty much crashed. Like I didn't really do much after that. So with that being said, we have some stuff to open. I want to start with the Gachapon that we got yesterday. This is the Revolutionary Army one. You can get Sabo, Koala, Dragon, or Ivankov. Realistically, Dragon or Ivankov are going to be the two that I want. I want to go back today and see if they have the card keychains or the hat keychains, because that's what I really want. Who we got here? Oh, we got Sabo. Not bad. Okay, Sabo's fine. From Common Ground, I picked up Marineford cats. And I really want the Kuzan cat here, or possibly the Sengoku cat. Smoker or Kobe. Honestly, like any of these would be fine. but you know, if I get like Smoker or Kobe, that'd be really cool. I'm really hoping I go to Bandai Retail today and they have the cats that they have, because those ones were sick. And we have, yeah, baby Sengoku cat. Oh yeah. Now last but certainly not least, we have the illustration box. The fact that I have had these packs overnight and did not open them is astounding, honestly. I kind of forgot that it was in my bag, and then when I was packing this morning, I was like, oh yeah, I bought that yesterday. So I hope to get another one today. Realistically, like, I would like a play set of the Lucci and the Bonnie. They did announce that One Piece stores will have these exclusively too, so that's cool. I'm glad it's not like specific to this event just forever, but there are your promos. This Lucci is crazy looking. We'll start with some 08. Ooh, this is like the second 9-drop mom I've pulled in the last few weeks. Well, last few days, I should say, because I pulled another one on Friday. But that's just one less I have to buy for Charlotte Pudding. Ooh, okay. Pretty solid illustration box. We take those. Listen, I ain't mad at it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting ready and then head over to the venue for the final day of One Piece Day weekend.
Figured out the strat. If you come to the DART Fair Park train station, you can just walk right in. There's no line over here whatsoever. So I literally grabbed a lift from my hotel to the DART lift station, or to the DART Fair Park station. No line to get in. Fantastic.
They're back, thank goodness.
Waited outside in the rain for a little bit, but we do have our 10:30 reservation for retail. I'm hoping that means that I can get the playmats that I missed out on yesterday, and some of like the little cat figures that looked like everybody else. Also got here pretty early, so I got the card keychains for the Gachapon. I spent $20. They gave me this little bag too, which is cool. So now it's just sitting around hanging out until my retail reservation. They cut off pictures with Chopper. I am so incredibly upset right now. Should have came over earlier. You hate to see it, honestly. The SP mom is eluding me all weekend. I can't find any of them, but I did have somebody, they had foil Big Mom Don. We'll take those all day. I still need to find the SP. The guy that I ended up picking these up from has them, but they're his own, and he traded for them this weekend, so he found it before me. I'm kind of upset by it.
So cold! もちろん We are!
One Piece Day weekend has come to an end. I'm officially packed up. There's my suitcase, and ready to head back to Cincinnati. I do want to give you my final thoughts on this entire weekend, but I will do that once I get back home. I am just incredibly tired. So let's go catch a plane. Okay, as you can see, I'm officially back home. Let's talk about my final thoughts for One Piece Day. First off, I want to start by saying I did have fun at this event. I think that the One Piece community is a fantastic community to be a part of, and this event showed it. Just talking to people and meeting people all weekend was great. Like I said earlier in the vlog, I was there by myself, so being able to go to the venue and talk to people, whether it be people that watch the channel, people that know me from, you know, other social media platforms, or just people I was standing
standing in line with and talking to. Like, the community is what made this event fun for me. Now, everything on the actual like tournament side ran very smoothly from my perspective. Like, the difference between Bandai Card Fest Orlando and this event were like night and day, which the difference could be Bandai Card Fest was a bunch of different games where this was just one piece, but either way, like, the difference was there. You could very much tell a difference between those two events tournament wise. Now, there were some things organizationally that just didn't make sense to me and that caused a lot of chaos. Like, overall, the lack of communication that Play TCG had with the event staff is just very apparent throughout the entire event. Security the first day was an absolute mess. I do like that they added the pre-register on Friday. That made a lot of sense, and I feel like it would have been even more chaotic if they would have done the same thing they did at Bandai Fest and made registration on just that Saturday morning. Them adding it on Friday did make it a lot smoother than what it would have been. However, there was still a lot of chaos in the morning. There was 2 entrances, and that wasn't communicated really to anybody. So everybody went to one entrance. The one entrance had a roadblock up, so people thought you couldn't go past the roadblock to get to the security lines until you're past it itself. So this line started like up by the security and went all the way back to like the very front of Fair Park until we realized, wait, there's 3 different security lines and people just aren't lining up because of these roadblocks. But nothing was being told to anybody. Like, there was no staff member coming down the line saying like, hey, there's 3 lines for security or anything like that. They were just like leaving it. But, you know, we also found out later on that there was a side entrance that nobody was using. So again, just no communication. So the competitors for this event had their own retail space. It was a limited retail space. It was only open until 10:30. That's something that I wish would have stayed open a little bit longer for competitors, but I know they closed this one at 10:30 to open up the main hall one up at 10:30. So I don't know what times were available. When I got past security and I got in, the spots were already gone. So I didn't have a chance of getting into the competitor retail anyway. So we were told as competitors, this closes at 10:30, but you can go over to the other hall and get the regular retail spots as well. So a lot of competitors went over to line up for the other hall that opened up at like 9 a.m. As we're getting to the front of the line, they are turning competitors away from the main hall that's not the tournament hall, and they're saying that competitors can't get in until 11 a.m. when the regional started at 10:30 a.m. But we couldn't get into the other hall until 11. So if you're getting there early to maybe check some stuff out, sorry about it. If you go all day in the regional, you don't get a chance to check out the other hall at all. This was brought up in Play TCG's Discord, and then Play TCG had to go tell the event staff, hey, stop doing this. Everybody is allowed in the hall. Like, if they have a competitor badge, they are allowed in this hall. And then competitors were allowed in at like 9:30-ish. But again, I feel like this all could have been avoided if there was just like some big morning meeting with everybody in the event staff just saying like, hey, this is how things need to be ran today. And it was very apparent that that didn't happen. Everybody was just kind of doing their own thing. Now, the Bandai retailer that was there was selling out of pretty much everything by like 1 p.m. daily. They had time slots until 5:30 or 6, but you're running out of like a majority of your product by 1. So on day 1, when I got my first time slot, I was able to go in and grab one of the Illustration EX boxes, which great, but they didn't have anything else other than like 08 and 07. So everything that they were displaying that they had, like play mats, figures, all of this stuff, when I walked into my reservation at 1:30 p.m., I was told they had 07, 08, and Illustration boxes left. And they were all 1 per person, which I get the limit 1 per person, but the limits changed throughout the day as well. If you had a 10:30 reservation, you could buy 4 of whatever you wanted at first. And then, you know, by 12, it was 2 of whatever you wanted. And then if you have a late reservation, it was then 1. So then on day 2, after the mad dash to get the QR code, once we got our time slots, once we're in line for the 10:30 time slots, they go through, they start telling everybody, hey guys, 2 per item per person, which again, fine, whatever. But then again, that changes as the line starts to snake through. Another employee comes over and says, hey guys, it is 1 per item per person. But everybody that started the 10:30 reservations, like the first 20 people or so, got to buy 2 of each item if they wanted it. And then they changed it halfway through the reservation time. Again, just lack of communication all around. Now, I get the Bandai retailer being there, but this is something that you could have stopped, like the people being upset and the chaos, if you had vendors at this event. Like, just add 3-4 vendors, have the Bandai retailer, and people could offset that like disappointment with going to the vendors and buying singles or something along those lines. Now, the final thing that I want to say about this event, I feel like there was a big opportunity missed when it comes to like a free play or a trade area. You have these two absolutely like massive halls on both sides that you are utilizing. The one hall was just the tournament area. So you had all 3 regionals being ran. On the other side of the hall, you had your side events being ran. You had the competitor retail that was set up for a short period of time. And then you had registration set up on one side. And I get keeping competitors in the tournaments in that hall secluded from everything. Understandable. However, the opposite hall, the convention hall, didn't really have a whole lot. There was the TCG demo area. There was the artwork wall that showed the artwork of cards and then like the actual card displays from the new sets coming out. You had the same display that was at Bandai Fest, which showed like the Egghead artwork, things like that. There were some new cards on there. It did show the new Luffy from the structure deck, and then I believe the Divine Departure like SP card from OP10. But overall on that inside, it was just the same thing from Bandai Fest. You had the Gachapon station, you had the photo station that was set up behind the giant Luffy inflatable. Then you had the main stage. The main stage was cool. They did a lot of things on the main stage, but there were down periods where there was just nothing but pretty much commercials being ran for stuff. And that would happen for like an hour, hour and a half at a time between, you know, things that they were doing. You had a vendor that was selling One Piece apparel that they made off to the side, a very like small stand. The stuff was really cool though, not gonna lie, I did pick up a beanie. And then beyond that, you had the manga library and then the manga museum, which was just kind of like a tunnel around to see some of Oda's original artwork, which again, I think was a really cool addition, but everything was so incredibly spaced out. And you know, there was a big outdoor area, but there wasn't a whole lot of seating outdoors, and it was raining and it was cold, and I'm sure that Play TCG did not expect it to be raining and cold, because I didn't expect it to be raining and cold when I checked the forecast. But still, sometimes you just kind of have to adapt. But there was like no lounge area for players and collectors and people just to hang out, and I feel like that was such a huge missed opportunity because people were just like sitting on the floor and random spaces throughout the hall. Part of the reason that people go to these events is the community interaction of it all, right? And I feel like a trade area or a free play space just would have been perfect for people just to like hang out, lounge around, talk to each other, and keep people more intrigued for the little bit of time that they were there. Not to say that I didn't make trades, because I definitely did, and I got to talk to a lot of people, but it was like very inconvenient to try to sit down and trade with somebody, because pretty much you're just walking around with a binder and you're having to go up to people going, you got trades, you got trades, you got trades. And people were just like sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground with just binders in front of them. Like, it would just have been much better with tables and chairs where people could just hang out and relax. So I will say that overall, I think this event was a little lackluster. Honestly, I expected a little bit more out of One Piece Day, especially with how big of a deal that it was made to us at Bandai Fest. With that being said, I think I am very conditioned to Pokemon events, where Pokemon events, for the most part, are ran very smoothly. It is a well-oiled machine, which, I mean, that's Pokemon. Let's call a spade here, right? They are like the absolute cream of the crop. Like, that is what card games dream to be and want events on that level. Really, I'm just hoping that they're going to take the community's criticism well and put it towards making One Piece Day next year even better. But that's going to do it for this vlog. I appreciate you watching. I apologize for no vlog last week. I was sick leading up to One Piece Day, so I just wanted to get my rest, so I was just fully prepared for all the travel and stuff that I was about to do. Coming up this week, I have Journey Together pre-release and OP10 pre-release. They're stacking on top of each other again. I hope you're having a good start to your week. Don't forget to be great, and I'll see you in the next one.